Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down and talk with head coach Jerod Mayo. Jerod, good to see you again this week.
Good to see you as well.
Hey, it's tough times right now these last 3 weeks. You came out of the gate, you win the opener, then you struggled here over the last 3 games. And you're sitting there and you're looking at it. How do I lift this team's spirit? Like, you're the head coach now. You remember as a player, probably had some rough spots, but as a coach, how do you lift their spirits?
Yeah, I just try to go through the opportunities that were missed. And I constantly remind these guys that I don't know what play is going to change the game, but we have to make those plays and we have to be able to finish these games. I understand the frustration, but at the same time, I think the guys are working towards the right direction.
Speaking of frustration, and not to be a homer here, as a hitter, call the games for the home team, 1 or 2 plays, can that be the difference in like the Miami game, Seattle game, where you're sitting there like, guys, we could be 3-2? And which one is it? Are you more the 1-4 football team, or are you more a 3-2 football team?
I think we're more the 3-2 football team. But once again, we have to continue to work on playing complementary football. And, I think it's apparent that we have to get more production on the offensive side of the ball.
All right, Jerod, we're sitting here week 6. Why is this the week you decided to start Drake Maye?
Well, we kind of talked about it at the end of training camp, just the way that Drake was trending. And I would say that progress has continued throughout the season. And, I think now it's time to pull the trigger. We need a spark, especially offensively, and I think he provides that.
His process of working through the day, how much has Jacoby helped him as far as being the pro? Because when you get here after the draft, you're raw, you're young.
Yeah.
You learn how to be a pro. There's a lot involved in your day.
Yeah.
Take us through a day of what he prepares for.
I'm not going to go through the entire day, but what I will say is Jacoby has done a tremendous job, helping in the development process of Drake. He understands, you have the 3rd overall pick behind you. He understands, like, at some point in time, it's going to be his show. And just kudos to Jacoby for being ego-less and helping a young guy out.
5th week, you had 5 different starters up front. That's not the recipe to win games.
No, it's not. The only team in the league with 5 different combinations up front. And, we have to, at some point in time, like, we got to settle this thing down. I would say, between lack of performance and also injuries, there have been various factors in why we've had those combinations.
All right, speaking of being on a roll, Big Mike, moving back inside the guard, is that realistically the spot you guys like him in?
Look, he has the flexibility to play tackle and guard. I think, just from a protection standpoint, you want to firm up the inside of the pocket, and a guy with that size alone helps us get that accomplished.
Especially with David Andrews being out. David calls a lot. He's pretty strong in the middle. He's seen it all. Big Mike kind of being down inside helps.
That's right, and can help, Nick and, and everyone else up front. So it's good to have him there.
We'll talk about Marte Mapu. Guys on PUP, comes out, practices 3 days. Is he calling the signals? I see the hand signals.
Yeah.
So he was a signal caller during the game. And I remember when he came out in the draft, you guys were really high on him.
Yeah.
His maturity level, not many players can do that, right?
No, not at all. I would say, he's one of the smarter guys, and we knew that even through the pre-draft process. He's just one of those guys that brings that, position flex. He can play safety, he can play a little bit of linebacker, but he did have the green dot, and I thought he did a good job. For a guy who hasn't played and then go out there and play and be on special teams, it was a tremendous performance by him.
Is he a lot like Duggar as far as the type of roles those guys play? I know Kyle's different.
They are similar, but I would say they both have the ability to play in the middle of the field and also in the box.
All right, D'Amico Ryan's Houston Texans. When you look at your organization, your path to becoming a head coach, a lot of comparisons with him, young quarterback, all of it. He had a good year last year. Did he help you in year 1? Or did you talk to him?
No, so I haven't talked to him, but I have gone through various teams as far as how they built their rosters out. And I would say, once again, Caserio did a good job building that roster, and then obviously bringing in the quarterback was the extra piece. And you have to look at that model, and we're going to continue to try to build this team not only for now but also for the long term.
Time now for Ask Me Almost Anything, and this comes from Mike Burnell. Wants to ask you about Drake Maye, his preparation. What's his day like? What's his week? What time does he come in? How much practice does he get? Does he stay extra? Does he do virtual? You've talked a lot about the virtual.
No doubt. He definitely gets in here early. He's in every meeting, and I would say he and Jacoby, and really just the quarterback room, have a great rapport. He's a very hard worker. He's a competitor. He grew up in a house where his dad was a tremendous athlete, his mother as well, and he had his brothers.
Playing against his dad. That's how old I am.
Yeah, so he's a great competitor, and look, he's going to do what he has to do to get the job done.
All right, when he comes in as a leadership standpoint, guys are looking. There's a lot of veterans in the room. How much say does a rookie really have?
The thing about it, he's going to have to speak with his performance when he does get the opportunity to go out there. And I think, when the guys see the way that he performs on the field, they already know how he performs, in practice and things like that. But you build that credibility, throughout the season.
All right. If you want to ask the coach a question, you have to follow the team. Go to @patriots.com/askcoach. You'll be back later in the show. We'll take a break.
Absolutely.
All right? Maybe do a little side of mayo later. All right, more Patriots All Access. We'll be back right after this.